असङ्गोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहम् सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्
Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of praying together. We seek His immense grace and blessings.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai om shanti 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 hari om tat sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the omniscient, the omnipotent, the omnipresent, who also has the divine name Adidevaha, to such a supreme almighty, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humblemost salutations. We seek His grace, His mercy, His love, His affection, His benevolence, His kindness, His forgiveness, His strength. We pray for Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutvam in much more enhanced quantum, which is only and only to understand Thy true self in our very own hearts as a personal experience, the Aparoksha Anubhuti. This can happen, O Lord, only and only by Your sheer grace. You have to show up. You have given me the strength to do all what I want, which I have been doing to the best of my ability.
Rather, you are doing all this through this jiva, living in this faith, trust, and complete belief with surrender and prapatti. I again and again beseech in your kind self. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. With the grace of the Almighty and the abundant blessings of the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 448 on the 28th of October 2025, Aparoksha Anubhuthi series 36. Shri Vishwavasu Nama Samvatsara Dakshinayana Sharadrutu Kartika Masa Shukla Paksha Bhaumavasare Shashtyatito Purvashada Nakshatra Sukarma Nama Yoga Taitulakarane. On this auspicious day of Kartik Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all reaffirm our pledge, our oath, and conviction in Naham Karta, Hari Karta, Hari Preranaya, Hari Prityartha. It's all one and one supreme power alone, manifesting in various forms, names, living and non-living. Bounded by ignorance, enveloped by ignorance, I believe that I am a separate entity. Now, with the knowledge Ishvara Shastra and Guru has given us, we know what is our true self, and we are making a paradigm shift in our understanding about our own selves. We're taking that with a leap of faith and practicing this knowledge, driving away the ignorance which is in our mind from millions and millions of births. Oh Lord, give me the strength to take this quantum leap and be established in Thy true self. Once again, our salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om, good evening to all of you. I was today trying to correlate the Aparoksha Anubhuti. As I told you, we have slowed down on Aparoksha Anubhuti for the English discourses, because where I felt that this needs a little more impetus or thrust. So in that context, we slowed down. Now we are almost, we have done verse 99 and today we are going to touch 100 and we have another 44 to go. And you know, the distance between the Kannada sessions and the English sessions with respect to where we are on Aparoksha Anubhuti, we are 18 sessions behind. You can imagine what is the quantum of reduction in speed. Massive quantum. In fact, I can say it is like we are at 1/5 of the speed of what we were doing in the Kannada discourses. A reason is not only to get the understanding of the text, but what we need to get to is how to assimilate this and how to make it a living reality. So you must have seen I am focusing on the peripherals rather than the mainstream knowledge. How much mainstream knowledge is required? Yes, you are getting it, but more impetus is given to the collaterals, the apparent aspects, which will give us that thrust to move ahead. And by the end of this session, meaning by the end of this text, we should get that feeling. Not the knowledge. Knowledge we have got long back, but that conviction in what we have understood. So this has been our attempt, and if God has chosen this to be, then let it be. Let's follow it sincerely. So there was once a monk who stayed at the bottom of a hill, a mountain rather, and this mountain and this hut where the monk was staying was close to a village. It was next to a river. Morning, what this monk used to do is to take a big rock, a huge rock, and right from morning 6 a.m. he used to start pushing the rock towards the top of the mountain. Great effort. Push, one step after the other, one step after the other, one step after the other. And by around 12 in the noon, after 6 hours of rigorous pushing, see, he cannot take rest in between. He has to hold the rock. If at all he has to take some breaths, he has to keep holding the rock and take some few breaths. That's all what he can do. He cannot say, let me lie down for a while or sit down for a while. No. In that situation, he pushes, and then he is to go on to the top of the mountain, and from there he is to push the rock down. And the rock used to go rolling down the hill, and he used to keep laughing. Ah ha 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 ha. That's it. This was going on for days, for weeks, for months. Then some villagers who used to go to their fields in the morning, they used to see this monk doing it, who were very close to the mountain. They saw this monk, what is he doing? Every day he is doing this, and he pushes it to the top of the mountain after 6 hours, because they understand labor much better, the people who work in the fields. 6 hours of this strenuous labor, and from there he pushes it down, and he laughs at it. So one day they all mustered some courage, and they went to this monk and they asked him, Baba, can you tell us, why are you doing this? Then the monk said, look, you have noticed how much effort I take to take the rock up. And from there I push it down, and you have also noticed that I laugh. What does this mean is, we have got our human life with that much of difficulty. After how many millions of lives we don't know, we have got this life. It is like with that effort what we put in, and we take that mountain, that rock to the top of the mountain. And what we do? We just spend our life laughing away. And what happened? We come rolling down, and we don't know where we go again. So to understand the value of life, I am again and again telling myself, I spent 6 hours on this, and the rest of the time I say, I need to be serious in my life. I have got this life with so much of effort, and I'm not going to waste it just like that. And I laugh at my own self so far, whatever I've done, so that it pushes me higher and higher on the path of spirituality. So friends, this is precisely what we all have to understand, think, and get drowned in this thought. With what difficulty we have got this life. And after having got this life, with what difficulty we have got this path. And after having got this path, with what difficulty God is making us do all these practices. So which means, where are we now? We are at almost, it is like you have taken something and it's just near your mouth. Now don't allow it to slip and fall down. There are high chances that you get distracted to something else. Problems do come in our life, especially Maya tries to push you hard. And you may get into situations where suddenly you will see that things are falling apart and you have to devote more time to other issues. But steadfast. Keep that focus in mind. Know that, okay, what will it take to push a rock for 6 hours up to the mountain? Why push a rock? If you have to climb a mountain for 6 hours, people who do trekking, they know how much effort it takes. Continuously 6 hours if you have to walk in the sun. Climb. Massive effort. And you can't do it daily. So, knowing this, we now understand that what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling over here. He is now going to give us in the next 100th shloka, he is going to give us 15 steps or techniques which can take us closer to realization in a more structured manner. So, all this has to be taken with faith and practiced sincerely. We have to do our worldly work, but with a question everywhere. I'll try to tell you here and there how you should ask yourself, what you should ask, when should you ask, so that there has to be a change. Don't keep doing the same thing what you have been doing for years. There has to be an elevation. In every act what you are doing, you have to go to the next level. Not that what we are doing is wrong, but there is something higher than what we are doing. This is the point I'm trying to knock at or nudge at or drive you at. Keep this in mind. To find a level higher than what we are doing and raise to that level. Okay. Now, I was to tell you complete a story of verse number 99. Let's do that. Now, what was verse number 99 talking about? If you just take a recap. Uchyate agneihi balat cha etat tadanartadvayagamah vedantam matahanam chayatah jnanam iti shrutihi. He says, in 98, what did he say? Bhagavan Shankaracharya once says, if someone still insists that any karma like prarabdha survives, they land in two great errors. And what are those errors? He spoke about in verse 99. He plainly says, look, it's going to be an absurd thing. If jnana cannot take away ajnana, then what is the use of all the Vedas? What is the use of all the Upanishads, which are bombarding again and again that for removal of ajnana, one needs jnana or that supreme knowledge. So he says it will become a sheer mockery. Yato jnanam iti shrutihi. Liberation is from knowledge alone. And then jnanam eva moksha karanam. For moksha, one needs to get jnana. So he says, this is what the Shrutis, the Upanishads, the Vedas, the Prasthanatraya, everything is talking about. So now it is up to you to understand. If you have understood it wrongly, then it's your fault. And then we spoke about this. Prajapati was giving Atma Jnana. Now he cannot be biased to the Devatas and unbiased to the Rakshasas. So what did he do? He called both the leaders of these two groups. One is Indra for the Devatas and Virochana for the Asuras. Now, the first lesson he said, look at the reflection. What do you see over here? Oh, Virochana saw that I see my face over here. And he says, I got it. I got it, Guruji, what you are saying. Thank you very much. I understood and I am leaving now. Meaning what? This body, this face, what you are seeing, this body is the ultimate truth. That is the Atma, and I need to take care of the body. But Indra hesitated. He says, how can it be? And then the second lesson what Prajapati told was, you are the dreamer. He said, dream is an illusion. Then the third lesson he said, you are the deep sleeper. He says, in deep sleep, I get to see nothing, hear nothing, touch nothing, understand nothing. I am absolutely unconscious. How can Atma be that? And then finally he says, the true self is the Atma, which is free of evil, free of sorrow, free of age, decay, death, hunger, thirst, disease, free of all this, and even the ego. And that is where Indra got established, and he went and preached this knowledge to the Devatas. And on the other hand, Virochana preached that one needs to take care of the body, give good food to the body, give all the pleasures what the body needs, and only keep taking care of the body, which we call in our Atma Jnana as Anatma. It is not the Atma. Okay, now this is what we understood from the first story. Here what we are trying to say is, it is all about understanding. Now another very important story which we can talk about is the Yajnavalkya story. Yajnavalkya has two wives, Maitreyi and Katyayani. Now one day he tells, he's a great sage. He has a massive ashram, which is like now in today's comparison, you can say that he has all the top 10 unis of the world, like the Stanford, the Oxford, all universities. And that kind of a stature, now he suddenly tells one day, he calls all his both his wives and he says, I am leaving home to pursue the final goal of my life, which is renunciation. And I am going to divide all these properties, all the universities, whatever I have, right from the Harvard till the number 10, I am going to divide amongst you equally. Katyani is contented. Oh, I am going to get 5 unis to my account. Okay, understood. But there Maitreyi. So this is what we have to understand. Maitreyi, she comes out with a piercing question. She asks her husband, Yajnavalkya, he says, I see you were in charge of all this wealth, this power, this status, and your recognition. Now you are going for something which is, you are talking the final goal of my life is self-realization. And you are giving me and my sister, dividing the wealth into 2 equal portions. Can this wealth give me that immortality or give me that final goal, what you are looking for? Yajnavalkya, he bluntly replies on her face, no, wealth cannot give you immortality, nor can you give you self-realization. Now Maitreyi says, if that is so, I don't want your wealth. Teach me what leads to immortality. Just teach me that. I want to follow what you are following. So now, it is, a guru is pleased by the Shishya's behavior. And what pleases the guru most is when the student shows his or her earnestness to learn more, understand more, and be established more. There cannot be any greater pleasure for the teacher. And more rejoiceful is when the student has learned and he or she has gained that wisdom and he sees them progressing much better than him or much higher than him. That gives him higher level of contentment. So he says, I'll give you the crux of Vedanta. And he says the purpose of life is self-knowledge, and that self must be known. And how do you know that self? Shrotravya, mantavya, nididhyasitavya. It must be listened to and then reasoned out, or meaning reflected upon it. And then once you have reflected and got the error-free, doubt-free understanding, then be established in that knowledge. Shravana, manana and nididhyasana. That's all. And he says, how do you practice this? Now start listening. And while you're listening, whatever you see, whatever form, whatever name, all that is happening in awareness. Merge it in awareness. Whatever you hear, it could be the sound of a drum, a kettle, or a veena, or a bird, or thunder, whatever it is, bring it back into silence, in awareness. So this way, practice the method of negation. What is eternal in life? What is non-eternal? Simple points is telling. Neti neti, that method of negation. Practice that in your life. And understand that this body is not permanent. This health is not permanent. My looks are not permanent. My name is not permanent. My possession is not permanent. You get to an understanding that all these are like scaffolding. One day they will fall down. And who is the one who is knowing all this? Who is aware of all this? Make yourself steadfast in that awareness. Now Maitreyi is deeply listening. In between, she is able to listen the sounds in the ashram. She is able to listen to the birds. She is able to listen to the boys and girls playing over there, and some mantra chanting happening. All that she is able to listen. And with that very modest knowledge what she has got, all this is not, listening is not to this body and to these ears, but behind this listening is the awareness. See if you can adapt one principle of being in awareness and practice that continuously. That itself takes you to realization. Think. Our mind goes away somewhere, but suddenly you bring it back and say you be put over here. Our five senses are so strong. You are involved in at all the time in one of these senses. Of course, with the mind. Now, behind this, just knowing that there is awareness, you are done. So Maitreyi's question, now how do we do it? Now, anything we understand, tell me how does it relate to me? Because I want to apply it in my life. I want to gain the benefit of what Maitreyi got. So you must ensure that it cuts through that confusion, whatever you are having. If it doesn't give you freedom, then how much is it really worth? So before practicing or getting into any action in the sense, you may be planning to go for a vacation, a party, a fun trip, or it could be a job, it could be a profession, whatever it is. Ask yourself, will this activity add to my clarity and freedom from ignorance? Clarity about knowledge and freedom from ignorance. Every time you should just, this is a check, and yes, it's going to. You may be doing any activity, but as far as you are in that awareness, you are sorted. Because what do? We are all trying to achieve something or the other in this world. Somebody is after money, somebody is after possessions, somebody is after power, somebody is after recognition, somebody is after his followership. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he says, whatever you achieve in life is like you are achieving zeros. More achievements, they are like more zeros. What are you saying? I'm achieving so many things. I bought that factory, I bought this land, I bought that apartment, I bought that car, so many things. Okay. And I got so and so puraskar, I was recognized as so and so. Fine. But what happens when you die, which is not under your control? All that became a zero to you, right? So understand that all what you are thriving for is a big zero. Then the disciple asks, so then, Maharaj, what do I do? He says, add 1 to that 0. So the number of zeros you have, with that 1 it will become a huge number. And what is that 1? Bring God in over there. The moment you bring God in your life, all your zeros, if you have 4 zeros and 1, it is 10,000. If you have 5 zeros and 1, it is 1 lakh. If you have 6 zeros, it is 10 lakhs. If you have 7 zeros, it becomes 1 crore. If it becomes 8 zeros, you have got 10 crores that way. Accumulate zeros, but ensure that you have got a numerical, that is 1 along with the zeros. So reckon with that God. It is like having that 1. And you do more, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4. So that 2, 3, 4, 5 and number of zeros, see how much value it got. So what do? We have to stick to our sadhana. Make a manual. Don't do it as if I get time, I will do. If I don't get time, I will not do. You do this, and if you get time, do something else. If you don't get time, don't do that other thing. Because that is not our purpose. So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, all this needs to be done on a continuous basis. Because fame cannot give us immortality. Money, wealth cannot give us immortality. Relationships cannot give us immortality. Power cannot give us immortality. So, understand what can take us to that highest truth. What is that goal in our life? Having understood that, then play the game of life. So just like Maitreyi, she chose knowledge over riches, wealth, power, status, recognition, and she eventually discovered the true self, that is the Atma, the real source of love, peace, happiness. So that should be also our aim over here in life. Okay, now we move on to, we have done verse 99, we now go to verse 100. We read the first shloka. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam sarvalokanam karanam tam namamyaham. So here in verse 100 now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving us those techniques. He's talking about this. Tripanchangani adho vakshe पूर्वोक्तस्य हि लब्धये तैहि च सर्वैः सदा कार्यं निदिध्यासनम एवतो. He straight says, I shall give you those 15 steps, those 15 techniques, with which what you should do? You should practice. You should practice using these methods. Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana in the sense, it is primarily is trying to say, is talking about Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. He has not used all the three, but he has used the ultimate. So this is what we need to understand. You know, once a Swami was telling, like sometimes you get those kind of highs. Oh, I've understood Brahman. Brahman is like, actually it's like a movie running in front of me. And I'm seeing the movie, I'm seeing the screen. I know what are the pictures on the screen. What is the truth is the screen. And that way I'm able to see my whole life. Then his guru is right there. He says, Baba, you see the movie. I don't say no. That's a very good way of living your life. But don't forget to meditate. You have to meditate. So regular meditation, morning and evening, don't give it up. Rest of the time you keep seeing the movie of life. So it once happened that Buddhist Lama, he says, with eyes open and eyes closed, I can see the same reality. The same thing. You, as we get these highs, you know, I can see that. Yes, it happens to everybody. But then again his teacher tells him, never forget to close your eyes in meditation morning and evening. You may be doing for the rest of the time, but don't shy away from doing this as your regular practice. And to such a person, when you are immersed, you can say, oh, I can see Brahman in everything. I can see him in a city, in the buildings, in the cars, in the forest. Everywhere I can see him. But then his teacher says him, never miss an opportunity to go into the forest, into a retreat and be immersed in that reality. And another student is saying, oh, the guru, the shishya, the mata, the pita, bandhu, sakha, everybody is one. But then the guru tells him, never forget to give reverence to your guru. You may be experiencing all oneness, but there is something known as practice. You should never give up your practices. So here, this is the preface which we are getting. As we go on this path, you will get those kind of insight. Suddenly you will see that, oh, everything is that Lord and Lord alone. Because that is the kind of a tuning now what we are getting. If you get that, but don't give up your regular practice. If you can feel Brahman in food everywhere, don't you have your meal twice or thrice a day? You'll say, Are I'm seeing Brahman, meaning why should you have your meals then? Imagine that I've already, in this air I can see Brahman and I'm taking air. That is water and food for me. You can imagine that. But no, religiously you have to have your 2 square meals. So in the same way, these practices are extremely important. And what does he focus here on? Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Like you have a cup of tea. Okay, you say it is like Shravana. Just a cup of tea. Now we add sugar into it. That is like Manana. Now will that be over? Just having a cup of tea, no sugar, you added sugar. Manana. Now stirring that sugar in that cup of tea becomes nididhyasana. To experience that true taste of sweetness, that nididhyasana is required. So in this way, here the understanding which is being given to us is, this is a process. Like what? Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Shravana, we understand this with clarity. Once there was in a lecture one of these basic texts. So the Acharya was teaching about that text. It was about 45 minutes. So there were seekers and also there were some newcomers. Some seekers from a few months and newcomers were also there. Now after the class was over, one lady goes to take blessings from the Acharya and he says, Amma, how did you like the lecture? She says, I don't know. There were all big things about all this Vedantic talk. I don't know what exactly you said, but whatever you said was very good. What is the meaning of this? You said something, but whatever you said was very good, but I don't understand what you said. This should not happen. You may by your sattvic nature understand, meaning when you listen to such kind of talks, what is this talk? This is what Lord Krishna is saying. Or a great sage or a monk like Bhagavan Shankaracharya is saying is told in the class. Or a rishi. It is naturally good because you have a sattvic mindset. Now with that mindset, if you say it was good, but I don't know what you said, that is going to be disastrous. So at the first level, Shravana, you should be able to at least say at the end of the session what the teacher said. How do you know this? You can verbally say that or you can write it down. This is why we insist that whoever is reading, listening to the lectures, they need to make their notes. Okay, I have understood all this from this particular lecture. Then your Shravana is effective. The first level is effective. If you have not understood what is said, that means you are not fit to go to the next level of Manana. Now what is Manana? From what is said, everything need not be accepted by you. There may be some doubts. So start reasoning it out first to yourself. Listen once again and then reason it out. Talk to your colleagues, reason it out. And then if you can refer some other books, refer that. Some other notes, refer that. Talk to your Acharya. Clarify the doubts. Get that clarity. Now the problem is, what happens is, I have understood everything. I have clarified all my doubts. But the issue is, as this Upanishads promise, they say, once you have this knowledge, it is cessation of all miseries and attainment of bliss. Atyantika dukkha nivrutti paramananda prapti is a writing on the wall which was told in the first class, first session. And I have understood it now. I have listened so carefully. All samshaya and viparshaya, everything is gone. But still I am feeling miserable. The same problems what were there are continuing in my life. There is no atyantika dukkha nivrutti. Nivrutti is not there. And now on the top of it, I have got one more problem now. What is that problem? I am not able to realize myself. Earlier I didn't have this problem. I have studied Vedanta, but I am not realizing myself. When will I realize myself? This is an additional problem which came to in my life now. So this manana, when you have clarified your doubts, if you stop here, it is not going to work again. Now the third step is important. What is that step? That knowledge, what we have got, has to percolate in us. See, we use this word marinate. There are some dishes which they are kept over a period of time. Overnight they are kept. And they say once it is marinated well, then the taste goes to the next level. Like for example, one of these ITC's delicacy, dal bukhara. They say it is marinated for more than overnight. It's like more than 18-24 hours, they say. That marination, meaning whatever you have put in, all that goes deep within your mind. And you cannot say just like by listening and by clarifying your doubts, it's not going to work. Now that marination happens when you go into meditation. What is this meditation about? Whatever clarity you have got on the subject, you are just revising it in your mind without any other thoughts. That should be, and your goal should be that I want to meditate, I want to marinate this knowledge, and I want to get enlightened. Then you should be saying, whatever it takes for me to get enlightenment, I am ready to do that. You should be coming to that situation and that stage. Now, for example, you want to method of transport, neither a bus nor somebody else's private car. No, you say I want to go by Uber. That is going to be disastrous for us. This is your insisting for something. What you're trying to say is, I am ready to miss the flight, but I want to go only by Uber to the airport. Can there be any more foolish insistence other than this? So, don't look at things here and there. Now, here is this text. We have got Aparoksha Anubhuti. In this text are the teachings. In this text are the techniques. Just follow it. If you say, I want only by this method I am going to go, then it is like you are insisting on, I want to go only by Uber. And that Uber guy is coming and cancelling, coming and cancelling. What will you do? You will miss your flight. So is catching the flight important, or going by the Uber vehicle is important? So here our goal has to be that we have to catch the flight, meaning we have to get that self-realization. And means you don't have to do all that exercise. They're all there right in front of us. So following this, when you start your journey with this, with that steadfastness, that keenness, that earnestness, then we slowly start going higher and higher, up and up the ladder. So this is what our aim should be in life. Now, where we get stuck, I am preparing you, because just telling you the techniques and leaving you will not make any sense. I want you to, before learning the techniques, make that conviction in your mind. So now, Arjuna, as he asks, what is that which I need to get enlightened? So Lord Krishna, he says, you need discipline. And what is that discipline? I may motivate you, I may instigate you to do something, but that is like lighting a lamp. But to keep it burning is that discipline what you need in life. That is what he finally says. So you have to ensure that your brain is with you all the time. Now, I have, in some research study, I have understood how the brain works and where we can get tumbled down. So one, your brain always, the job of your brain is to take you into comfort. Let's say you want to get up at 5 in the morning. This is a new habit. You are getting up at 7 and now you want to get up at 5 because you have decided, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do some pranayam and then japa and then some dhyana and some yoga, all that you have decided. So from 7 straight you want to get up at 5. And now how do I break free from that old habit? So here what comes in between is your brain is tricking you back into comfort. Beware of this. I'm talking for all our sadhana. This applies to every damn thing. Every damn thing in the sense, every simple activity in your life. Okay, so your brain is trying to trick you into comfort. It will say, "Arey, today it's too cold out. It's so nice, warm. Why don't you sleep for some more time? I think yesterday you slept late and you have got so much of work during the day. I think you should not exert yourself. You can start tomorrow. What's the big deal?" That way your brain will first trigger how the limbic system is trying to take control, and limbic system prioritizes comfort over progress. Just like a mother will see the comfort of a child, the father will look at achievement of a child. So now who is the father here? Your prefrontal cortex. So mother is that limbic. Rest beta, rest, rest, rest. Eat more, rest. These are all what the limbic system would do. Now, because it sees effort as a threat. My child, why are you taking so much effort? So this is not a problem specifically for me or for you. This is the problem of how the brain is functioning. It's a neuroscience issue. Now, since your brain is wired to avoid discomfort at all costs, now every time you try to do something difficult, it could be waking up, or it could be studying something, or it could be meditating, whatever it is, your brain will immediately flood excuses. So how do you override it? You have to train your brain to act from logic, not from emotion. You don't have to fight your excuses. You don't have to fight your emotions. It is just that first 10 seconds when you get that thought, when you have gotten up and you want to get into this activity, that 10 seconds what you have to do is to trigger the prefrontal cortex, because your limbic system is active. To trigger that, just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That principle. You start from maybe 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there the prefrontal cortex takes up, meaning the father is up, the mother has taken a back seat. So then you are able to achieve this. This is the first rule. Anything you decide, now you use this technique and get out of that comfort zone. Now the second principle which comes in your way is your environment is actually controlling your discipline. Now let's say you're getting ready to start your pranayama and jap meditation, that whatever chores you have decided. Suddenly you have opened your mobile, you get a notification. Then you will say, let me check this notification. By the time you check the WhatsApp notification, then again you will see there are some mails. Say, I need to get some, check on the mails also. I don't know what my boss has sent, some important thing. So then you go over there. So now what happens is, if you are not checking this, you are leaving that, you feel guilty. And in this process, your dopamine is spent. You have lost that motivation, you have lost that momentum, and you will start, your enthusiasm starts withering away. And now this is again not happening by accident. The brain is designed to keep you distracted or in a way addicted and to bring you on the path of that indiscipline. So one has to be very careful of all these platforms which are there, especially on your mobile. Now the mobile, however useful it is at the same time, it is extremely disruptive. So what you have to do, you have to ensure that you don't get into this trap. Because if you don't control your environment will take control over you. That is the nature of how it does on your brain. Now, third thing, hack which we need to do. Now your brain follows your identity, not your motivation. What does this mean? Alright, today you have got motivated. I want to do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. I want to gain self-realization. Now I have covered 99 shlokas, 100 onwards. I am going to get all these techniques. I am going to go with full force. Now, that is the motivation which is there in you. But what is your environment so far? You have a lifestyle where it is like you are already a little laid back. Now this motivation has come. So now you have to push yourself. You don't have to say that I am going. You have to tell yourself, act like the person you want to be until you become that. Because the brain does not know what is real and what is imaginary. This is one of the biggest advantages we get when we know what the brain is. It's the biggest fool. You may not be something, but if you say your brain, I am that, it believes. So act like the person you want to be. Now, as soon as this situation comes, you should be telling the brain, I am a person who can meditate seamlessly for 1 hour. You may not be able to do even for 5 minutes. But you have to tell your brain, I am a person of that stature. Instead of saying that I want to wake up early, you have to just say, I am an early riser. You know why we fail many a times? We say, I can't give up coffee. Without coffee, I can't make my next move itself. Now that is what you are telling your brain, and your brain understands that you have to be that way. Rather you say, I don't drink coffee at all. You may be drinking all these years without fail, but you have to say, I don't drink coffee at all in the morning or during the day, because this is what your brain understands. Instead of trying to say that I want more concentration while I'm meditating, you have to tell your mind that I am so much focused and concentrated. I'm at the high level of concentration while I'm meditating. Now you may not be, but make that shift. You're not telling lies to somebody. You're telling that to your own brain to bring it to the next level, because that is the way the brain is designed to work. And the more you act like this again and again, now the brain rewires itself and then makes this discipline a very casual aspect in your life. This is what we need to understand at this point. Okay, so keeping these in mind of how you could be dissuaded from not doing and how environment can take over you, all these aspects now you have to gather, bring it under the right control. You know now where the enemy is. If you're not able to see the enemy, where will you shoot? Now you know where the enemy is. Take your gun and shoot them 1, 2, 3 and move ahead. Okay, now in this 100th verse, what it says precisely, now let's understand. He basically gives an introduction over here actually. So this says that for the said liberation, which I am explaining to you, I am giving you these 15 steps. Tripanchangani. Tripanchangani means a set of 5. I am giving you 3 sets. Now, what are those 3 sets? What are those 15 methods? Now, that's what we need to understand. Like, say, if there is a lake, so now that entire lake is like, say, that water body is like the lake, and then the water in the lake is like your mind, and that bottom which is there of the lake is the Atma. So if the water is shaky, that means you need to gain Chitta Ekagrata. If the water is dirty, then you need to cleanse the water, which is Chitta Shuddhi. Because in a shaky surface of water and a muddy or untidy water, you will not be able to see the Atma. So your body is like the lake, the bed, the entire lake. The water is the mind and the bottom is the Atma. So this way, you to see that to that bottom, ensure that you have Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. This is extremely important if you have understood this. Now what we are going to talk in all these techniques, what is going to explain, it is more or less we have heard about all this, but he is given a complete you can say a different perspective to those methods what we have earlier practiced. That is the beauty of Sri Bhagavan Shankaracharya, and which is his point is straight, that I need to go to the airport and reach the airport on time. Whatever method, whatever road, if on the way, if I find that this car is not moving fast, then I am ready to even jump onto a motorcycle, ask somebody, request somebody, jump onto a motorcycle which can cut through traffic and take me fast. So now as a sadhak, I need to see that I need to reach on time, meaning I need to get realization. Okay, with this we move ahead, and in the next class we'll take up. Now today we'll do the meditation in a slightly slower manner, and after the meditation I will be giving a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes also, for you all to go deep within whatever you have listened. I'll be giving enough gaps. Normally we used to complete this in about 12 minutes time, but today I'm going to take almost close to double and give some time at the end. So let that, whatever we have done as meditation, dive deep into our mind. Let it marinate. Okay? So we stop here and we move ahead. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. We take the verse 52. There was some issue about the voice. Is it clear to everybody, the voice? Verse number 52. Gabastinemi satvasya simho bhuta maheshwarah adidevo mahadevo devesho deva brudguruhu. 490. Adidevaha. Adideva means the first deity, or it can also mean one who is first, Adi, and one who is resplendent, the Deva. Further, we can also take it to mean that he is the first Deva, meaning he is the God of all gods. The term Adi also means one who eats. The term Deva can mean one who evolves. Thus the term can mean one who evolves in eating up. By consuming the names and forms, not eating in the physical sense, what we normally consider to eat. Eating up by consuming the names and forms. Like as we merge all the names and forms into that one awareness. So this implies that to the extent one withdraws himself from his false occupations with the perceived names and forms, he moves deeper and deeper into the experiences of the Divine Lord in himself. With this idea in mind, Lord is described by this term, one who evolves in consuming the names and forms. Adidevaha. To such a Adideva, we offer our humble most salutations. Okay. Without health, there is nothing in our lives. We pray to the Lord of Health. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Now let's do the Brahmari Pranayam. We do it 3 times. Let's do the Anulom Vilom. Take a few deep breaths, as deep as you can. Exhale as slowly as you can. Now we start our Aparoksha Anubhuti Sadhana Dhyana, the Prashnottara Dhyana number 13. This is a very powerful method of understanding from where we are to where we need to go. A dialogue between the student and the Acharya, the teacher. Now the student comes up with a question. What is the witness? The witness is that which sees all things come and go. You're just a silent observer of all the thoughts in your mind, of all the perceptions in your body, like what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, what you taste. You're an observer. You're not the experiencer. The witness is not a person. It is the light in which everything is seen. Here, when we say seen, it is the light in which everything is seen, heard, tasted, smelt, and felt. This is the Chetana Shakti, the reflected consciousness, in which everything is experienced as a jiva. During this gap, try to assimilate this knowledge, take a recap and assimilate this knowledge. I am now moving from the experiencer or from the jiva to the one who is witnessing this jiva, or to the one who is seeing the seeing, seeing the hearing, seeing the tasting, who is observing the touching, who is observing the smelling. So all the perceptions, all the organs of action, working, talking, procreating, all these actions, this person is a sure witness. Next question, is the witness the same as the Atma? Answer is, the witness is a reflection of the Atma in the mind. No doubt it is a step towards realization, but not the ultimate step. Now, so far in all your experiences, what was happening? With aham bhava, you were the experiencer of every action. All perception by the five senses, all actions of the organs of action. You were the one who was performing, who was doing, who was experiencing. Now what you have become? You have become the onlooker or the observer or just a witness to all these actions. Now you need to understand this and practice during your daily life. If you are talking, you should know that this body is talking with its organ of action of speech, and you are the observer of this talking happening. That is the purpose. So the self is beyond the witness, which means you are not the one who is witnessing. Your true self is not this. The Atma is witnessing the witness. So the self is pure awareness beyond the subject and the object. Now who becomes the subject over here? The observer, the witness. And what is the object? That one which is being experienced. And by this you get an experience. So that becomes the Triputi. So can the witness observe itself? Now the one who has said, you move yourself to the state of that one who is observing all the actions, all the perceptions, all the thoughts, emotions, feelings, ideas, sadness, happiness, anxiety. Now you are the witness. Can the witness observe itself? The witness can only observe what is other than itself. Just like the eyes can see everything else other than its own self, apart from a reflection or a mirror image. So to know the witness as yourself is the end of the illusion. Which means, if you know that you have become the witness, whatever an illusion was there, that you are the person who is doing all this, now that illusion, there is an end, but it's not the end of the journey. It's one major leap you have taken in your sadhana, moving towards the Atma Bhava. Okay. Now the student asks. The student is getting excited. He's sitting under a tree, cool breeze is flowing around. Melodious sounds of the birds. Guru is sitting right in front of him. He has got this now. He has been practicing. As I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer, nor I am the sufferer, I am the pure witness. Now he has come to this stage of understanding. He now asks his Acharya, Acharya ji, how can I become the witness? I have experimented this. I want to be more established in this. Here and there I was faltering, but I want to understand from you, how can I become the witness? Now his teacher tells him, you don't have to become the witness. You are the witness already. just that you have forgotten. Where is your wallet? Your wallet is in your pocket. You have just forgotten that you have kept in your pocket. Pay attention. Keep observing your thoughts, your emotions, your body movements, your feelings, your perceptions. Watch all these as if it were happening to someone else. Slowly, by doing this, the false identification of I the doer, I the enjoyer, or I am the sufferer, that will all drop naturally. Oh, really? The student is now more enthused. Yes, I got a flare of it. But now that you're telling, I'm understanding. Tell me, Acharya, what is the benefit of witnessing? Then the Acharya continues. The moment you become the witness, you break the spell of identification. You start seeing things as though they are transient and superficial. It immediately brings a sense of detachment, clarity, and peace in your life at that very moment. You are no longer drowned in the ups and downs of the experience. Okay? So, which means, is this awareness or Atma or consciousness, Chaitanya, beyond this Sakshi Bhava, which is the witness? Question to the Acharya. And the Acharya says, yes. The witness is still a form of consciousness, which is dualistic in nature, dependent on the mind. But awareness is beyond both the witness and the witnessed. Now, what was your stage? You were looking at the jiva, that is yourself, earlier, which was superimposed by the aham bhava. Now, aham bhava is no more there. You become a witness to this body with its organs of actions and sense perceptions, performing various actions in this world. You were a witness. But awareness is apart from the witness and the entire jiva which is being witnessed, ED. That awareness, how is it? It's pure, timeless, spaceless. Now the Acharya tells, you have to take one more leap, one more jump from being a witness to all that is happening in the life of this jiva. You have to now know that you are the one who is witnessing the witnessed, who is witnessing the witness and the witnessed. What is the difference between consciousness and awareness? Now the student is trying to ask, what is this? Consciousness is always conscious of something. It is partial and subject to change. But awareness is total, changeless, silent, and still. Awareness is not an experience. but it is the background on which all experiences appear and disappear, just like the movie screen. Now the student is trying to grasp, understand. Okay, I have to now let go the status of being a witness. Whatever I was witnessing, I need to stop witnessing all that the jiva was doing. Then only I will be the one who is witnessing the witness as well as the witnessed. This thought comes to his mind. So now we ask the Acharya, what happens when the witness disappears? Because he wants to achieve that. Before reaching awareness, you have consciousness. Then there is only awareness, pure and silent. Now what is consciousness over here? This is the Chetana Shakti, reflected consciousness in a particular jiva, which is the witness. You should know that this awareness which you have got in your body is that witness. But awareness is apart from this witness. The sense of separation that ends over here. When you move, when you stop looking at the witnessed as a witness, no one remains to say, I am aware. The entire Triputi is dissolved, which means there is no experiencer, there is no experienced, and there is no experience. The Triputi, which is a constant factor in everybody's life, all that is dissolved. There is just awareness with no questions, with no answers, with no doubts, with no perceptions, no thoughts, no feelings, no emotions, no joy or sorrow, no high or low, no good or bad, no sad or ugly. It's just a state of stillness. That is the ultimate reality. Can this awareness be described? Now the student is asking again. You told in so many ways. No, the teacher says no. Then what did you say so far? I said by not being in all this, you are being that. It can only be known by becoming it. Practice. First practice being a witness, and then still the state of witness. Don't go to do anything beyond that. Forget what you are witnessing and forget yourself what you are known to be a witness, which is a reflected consciousness. And then you will be, this awareness can be known only by becoming it, because it has got no attributes. You cannot see it, but without it nothing can be seen or experienced. It is closer than the mind, closer than that I factor is in you. Once you are out of all this, whatever is said so far, everything other than all this is your true nature, and you will know that only by becoming that. Now the student goes into silence, and so is the teacher. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Almighty to seek His grace, mercy, blessings. Naham karta Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartam. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. I hope you all cherish the meditation. I will try to improvise upon this, and you can see slowly you will be able to get established. We'll try to use some more different techniques and methods. Whatever God gives us, we'll try to follow that. I really don't have anything in mind, but I know things will come at the right time, in the right manner, because His grace is ever shining upon us. Hari Om.
आनन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अंशज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वभूस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ विलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवो